Well, welcome. We'll have others join as they join. Dave Brown's Bad Leadership CEO. We have Brandy and Katie from ASU. I'm just going to give a quick overview because although being a proud Arizona Wildcat, I'm also proud of this ASU partnership we have, um, mainly because of how our bigger visions align. So Jeff, Haley, Ileana, um, and being in Catalyze, you've heard me say this over and over again, broad spectrum of leaders working together collaboratively to make big change and have big impact in Arizona on our most pressing issues. ASU, um, similar, they think about leadership as action. They think about how they can um, have a bigger community impact, and they're actually now going all the way over to the UK to have that impact. I saw the announcement today. They're now just going to be ASU London. So ASU is everywhere. But in that spirit of leadership as action, and when we think about who we partner with, we think about how do those values, how do the things we talk about and that we teach in our classes and our courses and our programs align to other organizations. And ASU is a pretty easy one. In fact, when I started, the alumni and stakeholders and community came to me and said, VL needs to do something different. And instead of being so exclusive, needs to be inclusive. And that was very similar to what the ASU charter or how the ASU charter was rewritten by President Crow 20 something years ago now, when he came on the scene to say, if people want to learn wherever they are, we should make that available and accessible to them. Same with us. If people want to lead, we should make that as available and accessible to partake in that and do something for Arizona. So kind of a no-brainer to have this partnership with ASU when we think about the programs they can offer to VL alum. And again, really not just another partner that we can say, hey, here's another benefit to being part of the VL family, is access to these ASU programs, but really a deeper partnership alignment. We do lots of stuff with ASU, and we do it purposefully because of that value alignment and what we seek for the bigger outcomes in Arizona. So with that, I'm going to hand it over to Brandy and Katie to talk a little bit more about um, their programs.
So thank you for joining us, everyone. I'm so glad that you were able to make it today to learn a little bit more about Arizona State University. Dave did a really good job. Thank you, Dave, for aligning both ASU and Valley Leadership's, core values. And so I'm really excited to be able to offer this partnership to all of you here today. So we'll talk a little bit about ASU. It sounds like everybody's pretty familiar with it, but we'll cover some high points. We'll also do a high-level overview of the WP Carey programs, and then we'll cover the Thunderbird programs as well, and then we'll wrap up with any Q&A. But just know there's a lot to go over today, so it's going to be a little bit high level, but all of us are available to help you through any questions or anything you have as you are looking into the next steps of your professional development. As Dave mentioned, my name is Brandy Carruthers. I'm the Director of Corporate Outreach and Community Engagement within the business school. I've been with WP Carey for 11 years, and what drew me to WP Carey and ASU was really learning how business is personal. And I had been in a role where everybody kept telling me, don't worry about it. It's just business. It's not personal. And that never resonated in my brain. I always felt like it didn't make sense. So when I got to WP Carey, it really spoke to me. And I've been here for 11 years and working on our graduate academic partnerships for about 3 years now. So I'm really excited to be able to talk about some of our partnership benefits. One of the first benefits that you'll receive is an application fee waiver. So that'll save you anywhere from $70 to $115. It also makes it kind of a low risk, you know, move if you're wanting to apply and see if this is the right program for you. So it helps take away some of that risk. The next benefit, and we offer this to everybody, but I really like to talk about it um, in basically what we offer is personalized admission coaching from the time you inquire to the time that you start program orientation. So I think that's something that's really unique to ASU and WP Carey is we offer that really concierge service to help our students. Once you start the program, you're going to also have a dedicated program manager that's going to be there to support you through your entire program. So just know we're here for you through the entire process. And then lastly, we have our academic partner scholarships. So I'm really excited about the amount of scholarships that we have, or the dollar amount per scholarship that we have available. It's impactful. It's not, it really does make a difference when it comes to affording the cost and um, aligning ourselves with ASU's values of inclusivity and providing access. So I'll talk very briefly about ASU. And 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 again, Dave did a really phenomenal job talking about ASU and our mission and what we're looking to do. ASU has really stepped up over the last 20 years and really making an impact, not only locally, but across the US and globally. So we're really looking to promote access, innovation. We want to make sure that we measure ourselves by whom we include versus who we include. So this partnership with WP Carey and Thunderbird is really an example of those principles coming together. So ASU has been making some really great strides. I'm sure you've seen the number one in innovation blasted all over the buses and billboards and all of those things, but it's really something that is ingrained in all of us. So now that we learned a little bit about ASU, let's kind of transition into WP Carey. Um, there's a lot of really positive rankings, and I only have a few on the screen just because it'd be a little too busy. But we have a lot of really, really positive rankings that show the quality of our program. It also shows, it gives you a quick way to gauge, a school's reputation. And ASU and WP Carey, you're going to find are very highly ranked. So through those rankings, you're going to find also having high quality faculty because of that. It kind of draws them in, right? They want to be a part of a really great university. Also, there's a ton of resources. And then for a lot of people, brand recognition post-graduation is really important. So again, having the quality of the faculty resources and brand recognition, but there's also another part when you're looking for, a graduate degree is beyond rankings, how does the program align with your professional development needs and also your schedule? Most everybody needs to maintain their full-time job while they're working. So we'll talk about all the programs today that for WP Carey are in the working professional format. So you don't have to make a choice between going to school and getting a graduate degree. So quick question, if you guys could use your little hand features. I know Jeff is interested in maybe MBA. Who else may be interested in an MBA program? If you could raise your hand. Okay. So we got two. How about specialized masters within WP Carey? Does anybody have any interest there? Okay, perfect. That just tells me where to spend the time in this overview. So when we talk about an MBA, we're really talking about building well-rounded, connected leaders. So, as an alum, or with you guys, you're currently in the Catalyze 5 cohort, right? Is that what everybody was saying? Yeah, perfect. Okay.
Some are, and
Um,
some are more further back. William,
Okay,
I think
so
you
we
were
got, I
a
thought
couple
I
four.
recognized
Yeah.
William. Okay, perfect. So whether you're alum or you're currently in the program, there's a lot of reasons why you were driven towards being a part of Valley leadership. And a lot of that is understanding the power of collaboration, empathy, and systems change. So our MBAs are really designed to deepen a lot of those same qualities. So an MBA is going to provide you with a full, like 360-degree view of business, giving you a strong foundation in finance, operations, strategy, marketing, and more. But I think what really sets us apart as far as MBAs goes is we're looking to not only hone in on those hard skills that you need to learn, but also those essential human skills. So we're looking for leaders who build, connect, who catalyze. They could see the full they could see the full picture across disciplines. And I don't know if your organization is the same as mine, but there's a lot of cross collaboration that's happening these days. And this is an important feature within the MBA program too. It also helps you lead with emotional intelligence. And I think that's really an important human skill that we could always learn a little bit more about. But we're wanting to um, not only get those skills to be better in the role that you have, but also a stronger leader. So we have three different MBA programs, and they're suited for people at different levels of their professional career as well as different modalities. So we'll start with our executive MBA program. That's for our most senior leaders. So that's going to be for people with 10 plus years of professional work experience, working at a very high level, five of which they're managing budgets, projects, um, people at a much higher level. And I'm sorry, my gardener's here and I could hear the blower and it distracted me. Forgive me, please. But the format is delivered in a hybrid format. So once a weekend, you'll be on campus, and our weekend is a Friday and a Saturday. There's also a residency requirement. So you could stay at the hotel one night, and that's included in your tuition. That allows you the ability to really network and connect with your faculty, your classmates, all of those people that are so important to you in the program. There's also a couple of signature experiences that I'd like to highlight. Our business and public policy course. So this is for students will travel to both the Arizona State Capitol and Washington, D.C., and you're going to learn how business and public policy intersect. We also have our international immersion trip. This offers you the experience to travel to another country, learn best international business practices. The business and public policy course and the international immersion trip are built in to the executive MBA program, but they're also available to our other MBA modalities, just so you know. They're just not a built-in component. So you'll find the focus of this program is going to be strategic leadership, of course, innovation, executive level decision making. So that's our executive MBA. Next, I'm going to move on to our online MBA. This is ideal for those individuals who have 2+ years of professional experience post undergrad. If you were in the military and you have a non-traditional background, that could be a little bit different conversation because we know it could be wildly different on how your development went. Um, and with the online MBA, it offers you 100% asynchronous content. There's content where if you are available, you can log in for some synchronous components, but it's not required. We're one of the first AACSB accredited universities to have an online MBA. So we've been in this space for a while and we know how to really help our students. And another really great feature about both our online and evening MBA is it's highly, highly customizable. You can choose a concentration, which could be AI, supply chain. Or if you're like, hey, Brandy, yeah, that's really great, but my role's super dynamic. I have a little bit of this and a little bit of that within my role. You can choose between 40 different electives to really customize this and make it your own. So just know lots of options there. This program has multiple starts. So we have August, September, January, February, and May. So lots of options on when you start your program. Next, we'll move into our evening MBA program. Same candidate, 2+ years of professional work experience is a great fit for this program. It's delivered in a part-time evening format, so you have a blend of classes on campus as well as online courses. For simplicity's sake, there's a lot of different ways you can do your scheduling. Just so you know, as you're looking at the start term, spring has different scheduling capabilities than a fall start. So if you're unsure which time you would like to start the program, definitely connect with your recruitment team so you could get a better understanding of how the scheduling works. So that way, if you prefer one start term over another, you can do so. So those, oh, and this does, I did say it does start in both January and August. So that's our MBAs in a nutshell. Then I'm gonna go through our specialized master's programs, and a question I get quite frequently is what's the difference between an MBA and a specialized master's? What makes sense? So a really easy way of kind of sharing that the difference is an MBA really offers you a breadth of knowledge. So you're learning how an organization functions across all the different areas of a business, right? Whereas a specialized master's program, that's going to offer you a depth of focus. So you're going to dive into a specific area of business. Haley, which specialized master's program were you really drawn to?
I'm kind of between finance and like computer science.
Okay. So we'll go over, there's 6 different specialized master's programs that are a part of this partnership. So we'll go over those. And Haley, if you have any questions later, just let me know. But a specialized master's degree can really give you that in-depth knowledge to really make an impact in your particular unit or area. So let me start with I kind of lumped these all together as our data programs, and I started with our Master of Science in Artificial Intelligence and Business. Everybody has been super excited about this program. We're one of the first universities to launch both an undergrad and graduate program in artificial intelligence. So if you're looking to drive innovation and lead AI initiatives within your organization, this could be a really great program for you. As you can see, this is completely online, so you don't have to come to campus, but it's going to teach you how to integrate business operations, improve customer services with the lens of AI. So you'll be really prepared to drive AI initiative leadership roles as your industry or your organization rapidly changes. Next is our Master of Science in Information Systems Management. This is for those who are looking to be a leader in IT. So if you already have IT experience and you're looking to take your development to the next level and be a leader, this is going to be the program for you. It talks about technology strategy, digital transformation, how to lead change at an enterprise or maybe a community level, depending on your role. And it's really important in today's tech-centric world to have those skills. And then finally, the last program of this slide is our online Master of Science in Business Analytics. For all of those data junkies out there, this is this is the perfect program for you. So if you are into data, making decisions through data, this can be a really great program for you. Um, they also recommend if you have a background in some different programming languages, it's really helpful for the business analytics program, like Python and SQL and those things. If you don't have that strong of a background, there are some options to help you be prepared as you start the program. But these are kind of a snapshot of the different programs that are kind of data based. The closest program that I have to finance is going to be accountancy and data analytics that qualify for this partnership. So our Master of Accountancy does have prerequisites. So if you didn't have accountancy classes in your undergrad, not to worry, we do have some specific options that can help you get those prerequisites that you need to start this program. But it's really there to help you take your accounting skills to the next level and be able to understand the financial concepts that go through accountancy. It's a 1 year and a 2 year track. And this is a unique format. It's a virtual class, but it's held online and it's synchronous. So that means you just have to be logged in at a specific time. Another program that we've had a really great response to is our Master of Science in Marketing. So this provides you with advanced skills in branding, digital strategy, consumer behavior. This program is 100% online and asynchronous. So again, offering you that high level of flexibility. And for those, our last program is our Master of Science in Supply Chain Management. So if supply chain is a part of your role, or maybe you're looking to pivot into that direction, this is a really great way to do this. It has a very unique start to the program, so I want to spend just a second here. You actually start with an online certificate for our supply chain program. You have 3 classes within that certificate. If you've learned everything you wanted to learn, you could stop at the certificate level, post your badge on LinkedIn, and be happy with what you learned. If you're like, oh my gosh, this was just the beginning of what I wanted to learn, I want to get a full graduate degree, as long as you've gotten at least an 80% better in all of those courses, you could transfer those credits into the graduate program. The benefit of having that certificate on the front end is it saves you a lot of tuition. So that's why we have that particular entryway for our supply chain program. We've had a lot of really great movement within our supply chain department. We've been highly ranked within that department. We haven't been able to figure out when it started because it's been over 20 years. So just know if this is your area of expertise, you're in phenomenal hands as well. So to kind of wrap up, my portion of this, for your next steps, please, if you have questions, because I really know today is such a high level overview, you can't learn everything you possibly wanted to learn today from my overviews. So connect with our team. I'll be more than happy to connect you with a recruiter. We also host many events throughout the year, both in person and virtual. So that's another way of getting more information into a specific program that's going to meet your needs. And lastly, please, you could start your process if you're ready to either learn more or request an application fee waiver with scanning the self-identification form QR code that I have there. What that does, it brings your information to me. I could get you connected with a member of a recruitment team. I could process your application fee waiver, and it also helps me track you through the process. So when you're admitted into our qualifying programs, I could help with the scholarship administration. So that's the perfect place to start if you're looking to move forward. And I'm more than happy to help. And I'll throw some links in the chat as well as we're going through the information session if you weren't able to capture that QR code. I'm going to hand it over to my colleague Katie, and she's going to talk to us about Thunderbird. So when you're ready, Katie, just let me know when to advance the slides for you.
Brandy, you are fabulous. Thank you so much. Thank you for running the slide deck as well. But that information about WP Carey was very beneficial. So thank you for sharing. Hello, friends. My name is Katie Altersitz, and I am the graduate recruiter here at Thunderbird School of Global Management. I recognize a couple individuals in the Zoom room with us, so it's great to see you. For those of you I haven't met yet, quick show of hands, how many of you have heard about Thunderbird? William, okay. Haley, all right, okay. Good, good. I'm glad to see that because I like to think of Thunderbird as kind of this slightly hidden gem at ASU. But being Arizona locals, I'm very glad to hear that you're familiar with us. Um, Tiny bit about myself before I move on. I am a double devil, so I've graduated from ASU twice. I did my bachelor's in English literature and followed that with my master's in higher and post secondary education because I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do, but I knew I wanted to work at a college or university and work with college students. For the past almost 12 years now, I've been working in recruitment at the university. I've worked for the general admissions office at ASU. I've worked for the Health Solutions College. I've worked for the College of Public Service. But close to 5 years ago now, I found my home here at Thunderbird. And so for the past 5 years, I've been supporting prospective and incoming students here at Thunderbird. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about who we are. Next, please. Thank you. So here at Thunderbird, we are future forward and future ready. We are going beyond traditional business education by cultivating cross-sectoral leaders who are equipped to excel in all areas. So, here at Thunderbird, we talk a lot about the global mindset. And the global mindset was actually coined by one of our faculty members, Mansour Javedan, several decades ago. But more recently, that has been upgraded to be a global digital mindset because our Thunderbirds are not only thinking across borders, but they're also thinking how can we utilize technology, especially emerging technologies, in order to create future industries and ecosystems. Next. Before we get too future forward, though, I do want to take a step back and talk a little bit about our history. So, as you may know, Thunderbird was our own private institution. We were founded in 1946 by a group of returning World War II fighter pilots. These fighter pilots had been training in Glendale, Arizona on Thunderbird airfields, hence the name Thunderbird. But they came back after the war and they started to have these conversations. They saw the absolute horrors and the atrocities that occurred during the war. And they wanted to create a method of perhaps reducing future conflict. And so these fighter pilots, they had experience with languages, they had experience with cultures, and they kind of developed this idea that if we could create educational programs that trained individuals on international trade, we could reduce future conflict. And a maxim or a saying was born that borders frequented by trade and diplomacy seldom need soldiers. And that's still true to who we are today. That saying is actually on the second floor, very close to my office, hanging on a beautiful Thunderbird. Throughout the years, we've obviously grown up quite a bit since the 1940s, But flashing forward to more recent history, during the 2014-2015 academic year, we became a part of the ASU universe family. And in doing so, yes, it was a merger and acquisition, but I prefer to refer to it as a marriage because you have these two historic institutions with their own alumni networks, their own faculty, their own areas of expertise, and they've now come together to create something even better than what these institutions were originally on their own. And so Thunderbird is very proud to say we are now part of the ASU family. And our new Thunderbird Global headquarters is actually located at the downtown Phoenix campus at ASU. If you have not been to the downtown Phoenix campus recently, if you have not been to Thunderbird, please reach out. I would love to provide you a tour of our building. It is a 5-story building with state of the art technology. But even more than that, as you walk through the building, you'll walk through the history of Thunderbird. So each floor is going to have a different decades theme, and as you walk up, you walk back in time in Thunderbird's history. Additionally, each floor has a different regional theme. And so here at Thunderbird, we are global. Many of our students come to us from international, and they bring their artwork with us. And so there's artwork all over the walls of Thunderbird that has been donated by our T-Birds and is authentic to various regions around the world. Next, please. So here at Thunderbird, we offer various degrees that we'll do kind of a high-level overview of momentarily. But a lot of times we'll get asked, well, what's the difference between an MGM or Thunderbird program and a traditional MBA? And I'm here to share that here at Thunderbird, every single class that you take is going to be infused with an international component. There will be case studies taught from an international lens. I actually had the pleasure of presenting with our dean yesterday, and she kind of gave me a fun fact that I haven't used before, but here we go. Our faculty members, on average, speak 2.6 languages each. And so it's just exciting to be a part of this community that's looking at business and leadership and management, but we're looking at it from global trends. How is global policy impacting business? And if that's something that interests you, definitely consider Thunderbird as your next educational opportunity. Next, please. One of the great things about Thunderbird and truly any graduate program is going to be that incredible alumni network that you get to be a part of. Here at Thunderbird, that alumni network is incredibly global and incredibly diverse. We have about 50,000 alumni around the world, about a quarter of whom live outside of the US. Our alumni represent 143 countries. If we look at current enrollment, currently enrolled students, we have representation from 59 countries right now. Additionally, we have alumni chapters around the world, and these alumni chapters will gather together with current students, with staff, with faculty, with fellow alumni, and engage each other in conversations. Whether those conversations are talking about, Thunderbird stories and their time here as a student, or maybe they're bringing up a business challenge that they're currently facing, and they're looking to our Thunderbird alumni as kind of this um, board of directors that you can then call on in times of need. But our Thunderbird alumni are incredibly supportive of each other and of our current students. Next, please. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the degree options that we have to offer. And as Brandy had discussed earlier, all of these degrees that I'm about to mention are involved in the ASU Valley Leadership Partnership. And so this means you can receive an application fee waiver for any of these programs, as well as a scholarship specific to Valley Leadership. These first two programs, I shouldn't say that. taking a step back, this first program, the Master of Global Management, this may not be a fit for you because this is a full-time degree program. And so classes are Monday through Thursday, 8 to about 6 or 7 in the evenings. And it's a traditional 2-year master's degree completed at the downtown Phoenix campus. And so I know many of you, if not all of you, are working professionals, and perhaps this may not be the perfect fit, but want to throw it out there as an option. On the flip side, our Master of Leadership and Management is a fully online master's degree, and it's asynchronous, meaning that you're going to sign in and do your work on your own time. Yes, of course, there are going to be due dates that you need to be mindful of, but if you want to do your homework at midnight or if you want to do your homework at noon, the asynchronous format is incredibly beneficial. Our online Master of Leadership and Management is our most flexible degree in that it has multiple start dates throughout the year, as well as it can be done in a full time or part time capacity. For students doing the full time option, you can expect to complete this program in about 1 year. For a part time option, 2 to 3 years, depending on how many classes you want to take out at any given semester. Next, please. Now, these three programs are programs that I think are going to be much more applicable to the audience today. These are our executive master's programs designed for experienced professionals. All three of these programs are hybrid degrees, and so there's going to be some in-person requirements as well as some virtual requirements. Additionally, all three of these programs require a minimum of 5 years of professional experience because we want students in this program to come in with their experience and workshop that experience. Bring it into discussions, bring it into conversations. Again, your cohort or the students that you're taking classes with can kind of work as this board of directors for any challenges or any concerns that you might be facing in your own work. And so it's important that students who are coming into these executive degrees have that minimum of 5 years of experience. Now, I want to talk about some of the differences between these three programs. So we have the Executive Master of Global Management. We have an Executive Master of Global Management with a concentration in space leadership, business, and policy. Yes, we're talking outer space. And then lastly, we have an Executive Master of Arts in Global Affairs and Management. The first degree, the EMGM, Executive Master of Global Management, is going to be more of a traditional global management degree. In this program, you are taking 6 core courses in digital transformation, strategy, communicating across cultures, finance, and then, in addition to these 6 core classes, you are taking 3 electives. And those electives can be courses of your choosing, either here at Thunderbird or spread across the ASU family. Additionally, in the EMGM program, students do what we call a global field seminar. This is a 1 week applied learning experience where our executive students go abroad as a cohort. We take you to a specific region, and while you're there, we take you to different companies, to different governmental sites, and you get to network with leaders in that region. The whole goal of the Global Field Seminar is for students to really immerse themselves in the business practices of that particular region. Additionally, one kind of special thing that we do on top of that during the field seminar is we host a Thunderbird alumni dinner. And so we invite Thunderbird alumni who live in that area to come break bread and meet our current students, allowing our alumni to expand their network and, of course, encouraging our current students to expand their global network. Now, with the Executive Master of Global Management in Space Leadership, you're still going to take those 6 same core courses as the EMGM students, but instead of your electives, you are going to take specialized courses in space leadership, in space policy and law, in space diplomacy. And so everything will be taught from the lens of the new space economy. While students in the Space Leadership Program do not do a global field seminar, they do spend a week in Los Angeles immersing themselves in the um, aerospace economy in Southern California. And so you go and you get to visit rocket labs, you get to visit some different startups, and you get to see how satellites are being made while also networking with leaders in the field. Last but not least is our Executive Master of Arts in Global Affairs and Management. And this program is really at the intersection of global business and global public policy. Just like the other two programs, you're taking 6 core executive classes, and then your 4 electives will all be focused in global affairs and global management. Additionally, for the eMAGM program, those additional global affairs classes will actually take place in Washington, D.C. at the ASU Barrett and O'Connor Center. And so you'll be able to experience not just classes in Phoenix, but also classes in Washington, D.C. Excellent. Next, please. And we have one more degree program that may be of interest, and this is our doctorate program. So for students who already have a master's degree and are looking for their next level up, we do offer a DPP, or a Doctor of Professional Practice, in Global Leadership and Management. This is a relatively new program, having just started the 3rd cohort, but we are so excited about this degree. This program is offered fully online, fully synchronous, and so it'll be Zoom-based classrooms that you'll sign into on the weekends, allowing you to continue your full-time job. The DPP is a 3-year doctoral program for those who already have a master's degree. During the first year, you are taking core classes that all DPP students are taking in global management and research methodology. And then year 2, you begin to work on your applied project. Your applied project can be a research paper, it can be a series of publishable case studies, it can be strategy framework that you want to implement within your organization. But whatever project you decide, you will work with your faculty members to help decide your electives for year 2, because we want to make sure your electives are related and help feed into your applied project. Year 3 of the DPP program is fully working on the applied project. So it's individualized research. You create your project, whether that be a paper, dissertation, case studies, and then you do an oral defense virtually of that project. Next, please. So if you are considering Thunderbird, connect with me. I am the only Katie Altersitz in Arizona, so please reach out to me. There is a Katrina in New Jersey, but different names. But I would love to just connect with you and learn about your history, your background, your professional experience, and make sure that Thunderbird is a good fit for you. We also have some great virtual as well as in-person events coming up, mostly virtual through the end of the year, and then we'll have some in-person events beginning in February for the spring. So make sure to be checking our website and joining us for those. And then if you do choose to apply, again, make sure that you followed step number 1, which is connect with me, so that we can waive your application fee. Next, please. And now we are very excited to take any questions that you all have about either WP Carey or Thunderbird.
And there were a couple questions in the chat. I know William had to hop off, but in case anyone else had the question, is there a different designation between the executive MBA and other MBA programs? Is there a fast track option as well? Or are those that already have, for those that already have a master's?
Super great question. So, When you graduate from WP Carey with your master's, with your MBA, it doesn't denote on your diploma which MBA. So, because all of our curriculum is shared across all of our MBA platforms, it's basically one MBA. There is a fast track MBA that is offered. There's requirements to that. So you had to have earned a business master's degree, usually from WP Carey, and that can be reviewed to see if those credits can be transferred into the regular MBA, which would allow you to do what's called fast track. And that can range from 1 year to 1.5 years, depending on what your previous master's degree was in business and the level of applicability to that. So if you do think you could be a candidate for fast track, and that was William that had that question, I could connect with him. But if you do have that question, I could get you connected with a recruiter to kind of dive in a little bit deeper. And Jeff, you said the QR code wasn't working. Was it on that one screen?
Yeah, it wouldn't work on my phone when I was trying to
Okay.
use the camera, so.
Sometimes it's a little small. So let me put these. Here's some of the links I have.
I did have a quick question for Katie as well, just to kind of compare like program costs and what would be possible. Was there, and I don't know if I could see it, but the amount that maybe be a scholarship or maximum for the 1 year MBA or the 2 year programs at Thunderbird? Is there, I
Yes,
don't know if
yes.
I missed that on those slides.
No, I did not put it on the slides, but we do have a chart that we've shared with Paige, and I'd be happy to share that with you as well. That has each program listed and then the scholarship you'd be eligible for as a Valley Leadership participant.
Great. And for our employers as well, can we also utilize if they have any kind of scholarship benefits? You can utilize more than one, right? I've just never went through this before. Okay, I thought
On
so.
our end, absolutely.
Absolutely. I'm trying to take advantage of what I can. So
Whenever you can utilize tuition reimbursement benefits that you have from your employer, plus these different opportunities with whether it be Thunderbird or WP Carey, it's so impactful. So please, if you there shouldn't be any issues with using employer benefits along with the scholarships. So please use all of those resources to your advantage.
I had a follow-up question on that too. With the employer, it doesn't include, what is it? Like fees, registrations, books. Does this program cover those things, or is it still just the credits?
So usually with almost all of the programs that I presented on today, like books and classroom materials, and those aren't covered as part of the total estimated tuition. The executive MBA is different. It's very inclusive in its pricing. So anything extra, for like books, classroom materials, that wouldn't be in the estimate. Is that what you were kind of going for, Haley, on your
I
question?
guess would the scholarship portion be able to be used for those?
The scholarship is going to end up really being applied to WP Carey tuition. So with WP Carey, you have ASU tuition, you have WP Carey tuition, and then you have, which you're probably familiar with, Haley, like the university fees for like the SRC or technology fees and stuff like that. So the scholarship is applied directly to WP Carey tuition.
Okay,
It
thank you.
it doesn't result in a refund that would cover books. So you couldn't get a
Okay.
refund back. Yeah.
another question, when is it applied? Is it applied on the front end when we apply for?
Super good question,
Yeah.
Jeff. So I have made it to where so let's say you do the evening MBA program and there's a $15,000 scholarship connected to that program, you would receive 7,500 semester one, 7,500 semester two, no further scholarship disbursement in year two. So it's front loaded on the
That's great.
scholarship.
And it takes a lot of, yeah, risk or stress off us.
Yes, that's what I was hoping to accomplish. You guys really paid attention. These are really great questions. And we still have a couple more minutes if, and in the chat, I put the link for the self-identification form, just some links to like the MBA programs or specialized masters, just things that I found over time. I also have like a helpful links document I'll send to Paige afterwards that has a whole bunch of different links if she could send it out post information session if you guys would find benefit to that.
Yeah, I'll send an email with all of these links and the scheduling a tour link and all the things that we've talked about today, as well as CCing Brandy, Katie, and the team, so you all can reach out to them directly.
Yeah.
I do have one more quick question as well. For the evening MBA, would that be held at ASU downtown or which campus? Or is that of our choice?
Sorry, it's at the Tempe campus. So
Okay.
it wouldn't be we don't have multiple locations for that program, so it would just be Tempe.
Gotcha. Yeah, because I'm close to the downtown campus. I'm just thinking like how many nights a week we would be coming in person or
So the way they have the basic scheduling, which there's a lot to it, Jeff. So connecting with a recruiter is going to be a really great next step for you if you like it. But you would attend probably one night on campus, and how long you attend is basically another customization feature. So it's done in like 2-hour time blocks. So you could join from like 6 to 10 p.m. on a Tuesday, or maybe for spring it's a Thursday, and then the other classes are handled virtually. So there's a lot of different options. Spring has its own unique options, and then fall has every scheduling option. So depending on what works best for you, that could also determine when you start the program, if you have very specific scheduling needs. So you could be on campus as little as 2 hours a week, maybe in some instances. So we tried to make it to where because we were hearing it was just really hard. It used to be like Tuesday and Thursday every week from 6 to 10 p.m. at night. And we were just hearing from so many of the students, like that's really hard for us to do. And so now we have these really great options. It's just there's a lot of options to cover.
yeah. No, that's great. That's great. It's helpful. So
Yeah. It's people who join our evening MBA program really value the networking. They really want to be engaged within the classroom setting. They feel like their learning style is more suited to being in a classroom. And even what you experienced in undergrad as far as like large lecture halls with like 100, 200 students in there. Our cohorts are intentionally small to around 60 students at best. So that way you have plenty of access to your faculty, your colleagues in the classroom, and those type of things.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone. Like I said, I will send out a follow-up email, connect everyone, and provide the recording as well. So if there's any other follow-up questions, just let us know and we'll get you connected to the right person.
Yeah.
So much,
Thank you
everyone.
so much, guys, for spending your lunch with us. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Have a great day.
Thank
You
you.
too.
Thank you.